Now the puck bounces right in. Kind of a bouncer rolling across the crease, and Meacham put the glove down and holds on, and the Raiders will make a line change and run that Robbie Whitcup line out there. Whitcup out there with Michaud and Murphy on the second unit for the Massena Red Raiders.
The defense looks to be trying to gain control of the puck in our zone, be a little bit more patient today, which I do think is one of the keys to the game, to be as patient as you can.
There's a shot right off the faceoff, and Meacham makes the save. Puck goes in behind the net, and Whitcup picks it up. Whitcup battling in the corner, skates out of the fray, moves it ahead along the boards, gets it back and flips it. Here's Murphy. Matt Murphy across the blue line. He'll dump it in the corner. In behind the net it goes. Picked up there by the Marauders. Christopher Angelo trying to move it on the wing. Raiders poke it back into the corner. Picked up D to D by the St. Joe's Marauders as they look to move it off the glass, not out of the zone, but it bounces over and out to center ice. Off a skate into the Massena zone. Toth just flips it right back to the neutral zone. Right back in the Massena zone it goes. Toth chasing in after it. Nick picks it up, flips it around on the other side. Pinching in though is Marzak. Marzak bodied into the boards, and picking up the loose puck is Whitcup. He lost his edge and fell down. The puck goes bouncing into the corner. Tied up there as they battle for it by Kevin Horan, and he'll dump the puck around the boards, trying to go on the other wing to Aaron Michaud. Michaud lost his edge. Ice might be a little bit soft out there. Michaud, though, says, uh-oh, and dumps it down the ice to release the pressure.
Not a bad play. Again, I'm encouraged to see that we're attempting to control the puck inside our own end and do something positive with it there. I think that, when Robbie lost his edge, we started to scramble a little bit. A good heads-up play by Aaron Michaud just to relieve the pressure and get it down the ice.
Chris Converse out there with Andrew Foster and Ryan DeLille now. Face off in the Massena zone to the right of goaltender Matt Meacham. Off the draw, puck back to the point. The Marauders will control and dump it in the corner. Sitting after it there, battling for it with Marzak. The puck bounces right in the slot, and I think Meacham got a piece of it. Raiders breaking out. Ryan DeLille after it. He'll break into the corner with it, has it poke checked away, trying to stay with it, but it's taken to the blue line, and down the ice it goes. I think that'll be an icing call against St. Joe's, and the faceoff will move back inside Marauder territory. 12:27 left, first period. There is no score on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Again, you'll see Jerry coaches doing a lot of line changes here. They want to get the blood flowing very early in the game, get the players into it as much as possible very, very early.
Ryan Ramo's line back out from Massena. Ramo to take the face-off, and it's going to be Lynch out there for the Marauders. Off the face in the circle, controlled by St. Joseph's on the defense. It's TJ Harper ripping it around the boards. Poke check free in front. Here's an opportunity. The Raiders just couldn't put a stick on it. Good opportunity there, but they just could not get the handle. Now the puck comes back into the Massena zone. 3-on-2, but nice check by Job, and he steals the puck. He's knocked off it. They bounce in the corner, comes bouncing in front. Here's the shot knocked down. Out to the blue line, still in the zone. No, it's out to center ice. Great effort by Matt Job. Here comes Massena's Ryan Ramo. Ramo centers it to Levine in front. Can he get to it? Poke checked away on a nice back check by the defense of St. Joe's. Puck bounces into the circle. The shot goes off a leg out to center ice off Job's shot. The puck dumped into the zone. Here come the Marauders back the other way. It's going to be a 1-on-2. Shot from the blue line is blocked by Sidden. Goes into the corner. And back it's Ramo to pick it up for Massena. Ramo looks off the glass, ahead, and Levine pokes it out to center ice. Intercepted there by the Marauders. They'll go back the other way, stolen away again. Here comes Robbie Whitcup, 1-on-2. Gets the shot off, fired it wide. Already more spark in this game than yesterday, John.
Looks like they have some nice lively legs out there. Must have got a good night's sleep.
Here come the Marauders, though. They're not too shabby themselves, and the shot right on, and Meacham makes the save. Puck in the corner, Hatch after it, has it knocked away. There was a shot from the corner that went in on Meacham, and it didn't look too dangerous, but it was a good opportunity. Now they got a man free in front. The wraparound attempt. I think Meacham made the save. He did on the corner, got that pad down, and holds on for the faceoff. I'll tell you what, though, you don't want to give these guys an inch because they are quick.
Yeah, they are quick. There was a shot that came from Matt's left-hand side there. Seemed to catch him by surprise. I'm not sure whether he was expecting a shot there or whether he thought that the guy was just going to try to dump it in the corner, but clearly it was lucky to hit him.
Face-off will go inside Massena territory. Back out there is Angelo to take the draw against Whitcup. Off the face-off, puck in the corner, controlled there by Marzak, trying to center, bounces back to the point, kept in and dumped in behind the net. There's a battle side of the net. And where's the puck? Still in behind the net. Finally, it pokes free into the corner. After it there, Glowinski has it knocked away. Raiders try to control. That's Whitcup again battling for it. Goes off a skate and ahead. The Raiders move it out to center ice. Here's Aaron Michaud. His head man is intercepted. He's trying to go to Toth and dumped right back in the zone. After it again, here is Hatch. Hatch leaves it for Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup on the wing, trying to get it out of the zone, but pinching in and keeping it in. The Marauders doing a good job of forechecking right now. They got a man in front. Can they get it to him? Nope, they go back to the point. Here's a shot, and that was attempted for a deflection, but it goes back around to the other point. No, it's Hatch with it. Moving it ahead. Oh, made a nice move out to center ice, but has it knocked away by the back-checking Marzak. Marzak turns in his own end, has it stolen. Here's a chance for Aaron Michaud. Aaron Michaud shot, score! And Massena gets the first goal of the game on a giveaway in the zone, and Aaron Michaud comes in and gets the goal, his second of the year, and the Raiders take a 1-0 lead.
Jerry, that was a just good, plain old hard work that got that. We worked very, very hard inside our own end and got it out. We used the wide wing a little bit, and then we got in and we took advantage of a mistake. The defenseman had trouble handling the puck. Aaron Polk checked it and walked in really all alone, and he made no mistake. He buried the shot.
Actually, that was a forward in there, and that probably explains what happened. Because sometimes the forwards, when they're back there, are not used to being the last man, and he coughed up the puck, and Michaud, very opportunistic, took the shot. And there's also a penalty on the play to St. Joe's, and I did not see that penalty. I don't know what it's for, but it's going to be Zawawa. His name is Brad Zawawa, and he's in the box. And the Raiders go on the power play here.
Little frustration perhaps, but that is a nice place for us to be early in the game. Obviously, you always like to be in the lead, but right now, hopefully a little bit of confidence will add a little boost to our game.
Here comes Ryan Ramo. Ramo trying to go to Horan at the point, but it's knocked away and out to center ice. Down the ice it goes. Out there killing it is Mariano, and they do a very aggressive penalty kill. And all these good skating teams can do that. Raiders have a 1-0 lead on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. D to D, here's Sidden with it, looking for his wing. Ramo just flips it ahead, but the other Massena forward went the wrong way, and the puck dumped right back inside Massena territory. Meacham stops it, leaves it for Jeremy Sidden. Sidden picks up a forechecker, and he's going to leave it. And here comes Matt Jobe looking for his wing. Up, intercepted. Right back the other way, but a good check thrown there by Sidden. Jobe picks it up. This time he makes the pass to Ramo. Ramo skates it across and dumps it in the corner. Stopped in behind the net by the goaltender Leggio. Flipped around the boards to the blue line. Kept in by Sidden momentarily, and then poke checked free. Good penalty killing job by the St. Joe's club.
Yeah, we seem a little rattled here on our breakout. I know this is one of the things that you work on probably last in practice, and we're showing a little lack of knowledge really on where we want to go on the breakout.
Actually, we had a much better breakout when we were even strength. See here again, we lose the puck at the blue line, and it's dumped right back into the zone by Christopher Angelo on a good penalty killing job. And the penalty has been killed, by the way. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Raiders lead 1-0 over St. Joe's. We're in the first period. Puck bounces off a stick down the ice, and racing in after it is T. Bradley Greco.
Nice body check by Chris Converse on Greco.
And the puck comes back to the Massena line. Dumped right to the red line by Massena defenseman Aaron Leduc, another one of these young Massena defensemen. He'll flip it on the other side. Here comes Toth with it to the red line. He'll dump deep. Racing in after it comes Adam Catanzari. Catanzari checked into the boards. Puck squirts free, picked up there by Angelo. Angelo, long headman pass by everybody. That's going to be an icing call against the Marauders and move the faceoff back in St. Joe's territory. 7:44 left in the first period, and Massena with a little spring in their step, leading 1-0 here.
I like their mustard this morning. They're really got some spice to their game, and I was mentioning earlier a little bit on the power play. I think that watching practice here a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, that they spend a lot of time working on the offensive end,
Sure.
trying to get their systems down, and oftentimes the practices in terms of the breakout are not quite as polished in the early part of the year, and I think we saw that a little bit there.
Off the faceoff, Raiders chance, shot right on, save made, all by himself right in front of the net, and a good opportunity for Nick Tubolino. Now the puck cleared to the neutral zone. Here come the Marauders. Into the zone it goes. That is Marzak. Marzak Battles it. Oh, made a great move. Passes in front. Here's a shot. Save. And a big one by Meacham. Great three-way pass by the Marauders, but Meacham comes up with a save, and back comes Massena. Here comes Tubolino in the corner. Backhand pass knocked down by a back-checking Marauder. Puck bounces free, and right back comes Glowinski. Glowinski taking it down the off-wing side. He'll dump it deep, and Marauders will make a line change. And that was a big save by Meacham. Out of the zone it comes. No, didn't quite make it out of the zone. Dumped back into the corner. Kind of an errant pass there as they battle for it. Mariano has it kicked away. The puck goes to Mossler. Mossler into the corner, looking to center it back to Mariano behind the net. His backhand centering pass is blocked. It comes free. That was Colin Lazare, and it trickles in on Meacham, and he'll hold on for the faceoff. As I don't know if we mentioned this yesterday, John, but there is a ton of room behind the net, and it allows these good teams like St. Joe's is to pass it back and forth and wait for an opening in front of the net.
Yeah, we were a little sloppy on our defensive end coverage there. Really, Matt Meacham came up strong on two occasions. The first one, the defenseman was guilty of playing the puck and not the man, and the guy walked right out and made a good shot on goal. And then
here's Job. Nice headman pass to Levine. Levine coming in off wing. He's got Ramo trying to slide it. Job follows. His shot knocked down in front, and the puck cleared into the corner. And that almost turned out to be a good three-way pass play. Now it's dumped down the ice, but it's going to be right on Meacham, and he has to make the save. Puck clear to the blue line, not out of the zone. They dump it back to the point. Here's a shot, knocked down. Meacham gloves it and holds on. It kind of bounced away, but the whistle had blown, and we're going to have a face-off inside Massena territory. 6:07 left in the first period, and on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, the Raiders lead 1-0.
Good hard play by the Raiders to this point in the period. A completely different team than we saw yesterday.
It's amazing.
I'm not exactly sure what it is, but we pointed to the fact that the ice was bigger, and we probably said it so much that people feel that they're looking at it. But I think we're a little more comfortable on the ice today.
Off the face-off, back to the point. The shot is blocked. Raiders try to break it out, but it's dumped right back in the Massena zone. Picked up there. Massena defense. Horan flips it ahead. Here comes the headman pass to Aaron Michaud. Michaud, he's got Robbie with him. Nice pass to Whitcomb. Whitcomb shot, save, rebound, another shot, another save, and the puck comes in behind the net. And another shot and another save. 3 saves for goaltender David Leggio. And finally the puck cleared out to center ice. Great three-way passing play by the Raiders. Here comes Whitcomb right back again. He loses his edge again. And again, that's at soft ice, and the puck goes back out to the neutral zone. Picked up by the Marauders. No, it's Michaud. Michaud drops it back to the D. Sidden. Sidden will go to Horan. Horan looking, and it bounced up into the St. Joe's bench. And a great opportunity for Massena. And they had 3 excellent chances and 3 excellent saves by David Leggio, the goaltender.
He sure did. Robbie and Aaron and Murphy were working very, very hard there yesterday. I thought that they perhaps were our best line yesterday, and really are doing a good job again today. 3 real good scoring opportunities.
Face off just inside the Massena zone after the puck dumped into the St. Joe's bench. It's going to be Marzak taking the face off, and I'm not sure what. It's going to be Converse taking the draw for Massena, but there was a delay for some reason. Puck comes in behind the net. Hatch with it. Nice drop pass. Goes to the other defenseman, Nick Toth. Toth cross-ice pass. Picked up there by Ryan DeLeo. DeLeo can't quite clear the zone, and here come the Marauders back again. The shot, Meacham save.
You know, I'll tell you, we did we did it almost perfect all the way out, except we seem not wanting to make that pass to the middle of the ice or even to the wide wing. We still want to force that puck up the boards, and you're not going to be successful getting that out on this big ice surface. There's just too much room to have the puck go. You got to use the ice.
Again, the face-off, Marzek will take the draw against Ryan Ramo. The Marauders win the draw in behind the net, trying to center it, but it's cleared by Toth. Toth circles, looks up. He'll take it in behind the net, using that room behind the net. Now he looks ahead, steps by a check. Here's Toth. Finally, headmans it to Levine. Goes by him. Levine trying to chase it down. Into the zone it goes, but it's picked up by the defenseman Strecker. Strecker flips it. Has it knocked away. Here's a chance for Levine. Levine trying to go to Ramo. Gets it back again in the corner, right side of the goaltender. Levine dumps it ahead. Ryan Ramo overskates, but Levine goes after it. And Chris is having a pretty good game here this morning as well. Now Ramo picks up the loose puck. In behind the net, circles, trying to dangle in front. Job shot, and he didn't get much wood on it. It goes wide into the corner. But a nice idea. Back to the point. Hatch with it. Hatch has it knocked away, and back come the Marauders into the Massena zone. Headman pass, but Job is there to intercept and back and turn it around for the Raiders. Job takes it out. He kind of fanned on the clearing pass, but it's out to center ice. Back come the Marauders again. Here's a man breaking by the defense, gets the shot, and he scores a goal. And that's going to be, we'll pick him up in a moment. Massena just a little slow getting back that time, and let me wait till he turns around. These numbers, I don't know if you've noticed this, but those numbers on the back are hard to read. They're kind of...
they're almost together.
Yeah. Let's see who that is.
It was that the big one there.
I'm just watching him. Okay. That is 18, I believe.
Yep.
That's going to be Michael Bedard getting St. Joe's even at 1-1.
He came down, beat one of the defensemen, and actually used, I think it was Nick as a screen, and
right.
Matt didn't really see the shot.
So we're tied at 1 now as the Marauders come back. Robbie Whitcup in the corner after the puck, Massena zone. Trying to leave it for Horn. It's knocked away. Here's an opportunity in front, and it's blocked to the side of the net. Now Horan, poke checks it, picks it up, lost his edge, but finds the handle, and it's dumped by Michaud. Ahead to Whitcup, taken away there by the defenseman Schrader. Schrader has it knocked away. Michaud off a leg, puck into the corner, picked up by Zawawa. Zawawa trying to clear the zone, flips it ahead, and here come the Marauders again into the zone, 2-on-2, and the drop pass, Robbie Whitcup knocks it down, puck kicked, and here comes Horan. He'll carry it out to center ice. Here's Horan across the blue line, into the zone, and he lost it off the end of his stick, picked up by Schrader off the glass and out to center ice. To the Massena line, in the zone, knocked right back again. Picked up there by the Massena defenseman, Aaron Leduc. He circles back in behind. Here's Leduc to the neutral zone, trying to hit the 45, and he does. Raiders back the other way, dumped into the zone by Catanzarite. Trying to follow up on the play is Nick Tubolino, but it's picked up on the Marauder defense. A bouncer out to center ice. Cleared there by Sidden, and he'll dump it right back in the zone. Delay offsides, Massena clears. Puck races into the corner, and racing after it is Adam Catanzarite. He's beaten to the puck by the defenseman, but the puck stolen away by Nick Tubolino. Tubolino in the corner, has it taken away, gets it back again, looking to tie it up with the defenseman Zawawa. Puck squirts free side of the net, but right there is Schrader to bang it off the glass and down the ice. I do believe that's going to be an icing call against the Marauders. 2:25 remaining, period number 1 on the scoreboard, the Corky's Collision scoreboard. It is 1-1.
Jerry, one of the things that I think you're noticing today, and maybe this could come back to haunt us, but I still think it's a good strategy right now, is the defense are starting to try to carry the puck out. Nick used a tremendous move in front of the net. I'm not sure I'd ever advise to have him skate in front of the net, but still, he's a talented player, and he was able to get away with it and advance the puck out of the zone. You saw Kevin skate the puck down and perhaps take it a little bit too far. He probably should have dumped it at that time, but really and truly, the defense are starting to take charge.
Off the face-off, puck controlled by the Marauder defense. In front, stolen away and knocked into the corner. Racing after it there is Andrew Foster. He looks to center, but it's intercepted by Angelo. Christopher Angelo moving it out to center ice. Here come the Marauders into the Massena zone. Racing in there is Marzak, taken away from him to the blue line. Raiders trying to control it. Whacking at it, puck comes free, bounces to Angelo, gets a shot on as he's falling down, and the puck goes bouncing into the corner. To the point, here's a shot right on the rebound in front, and they score another goal. As Meacham made a great save, but the puck came right out front into the slot, and I believe that was Marzak who was standing there, and he just banged it past the sprawling Meacham, and it's a 2-1 St. Joe's lead.
That first shot was about a 59-footer, and Matt made a great save on it and was lucky enough to keep the puck out, but he did kick out a very high rebound, and they made no mistake of burying it.
Waiting for this youngster to turn around. No, that wasn't Marzak. That was Lynch, Nicholas Lynch, who scored that goal on the rebound shot. So it's now 2-1 St. Joe's on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Raiders got on the board first, but have given up a couple here in the last couple of minutes. Massena controls the puck. Ryan Ramo with it. Ramo's pass is knocked down, but he gets it back again, flips it into the bench. It goes. That was Brian Hatch.
You'll notice, Jerry, that I think the St. Joe's defense are stepping up on our wingers. You'll see it. You saw that time where we came around. Their defensemen they're well inside the blue line to try to shorten up their offensive end and our defensive end, and it's going to make it very difficult for us to come out using the wing.
The remedy to that, I guess the word I put is a little top off the boards.
Yep.
Off the face-off. Here's an opportunity, side of the net, and another goal. 3-1 the score. And the forward, I believe that was Marzak, just outmuscled the Massena defenseman and passed it right across the crease to Angelo, I believe, who was parked next to the goal, and he just banged it in the net, and it's 3-1.
He was all by himself. Matt Meacham did not have a prayer on that one at all. But again, we have had trouble yesterday and today when we have the puck along the boards, and we're not successful at getting that out. Maybe we got to bump it back, try to use a reverse, or certainly try to get up to the middle of the ice as best we can.
Leduc from the face-off into the zone. And he lost it in his skates. It bounces into the Massena zone. Horan flips ahead for Whitcup. Dumped, and it comes to the line of St. Joe's. He'll move it right back the other way off a skate. Coming back after it for St. Joe's is Marzak, and he'll dump it deep. St. Joe's will make a line change. We're in the final minute of the first period. 3-1, St. Joe's leading. Raiders scored first. And the puck kept in the zone nicely by St. Joe's. They got a man in front, but he lost his edge. Horan picks up the puck off the boards to the blue line, not out of the zone. Here's a shot, a weak one, that trickles in on Meacham, and he'll cover it up for the faceoff.
Well, we're going to look to, regroup here. They've scored 2 goals really with under 2 minutes to go in the period, and that's not a good indication. They seem to have taken over the better of the play here in the last third of this period.
The thing about a team like St. Joe's, you can't let up even for a second because they're talented enough where they're going to take advantage of that immediately. Mosler's line off the draw, puck in front to the blue line. Here's the drive, it's blocked, and Massena's got a man down on the ice. Blocking that shot was Chris Converse, and he is down on the ice. I'll tell you what, he'd get a Coach McLennan kudo for that.
Yes.
He just gave up the body and blocked that shot.
I think he's got a stinger there. It looked like it probably caught him right between the lower part of the pad and the kneecap there, and so he's probably got a good stinger.
He's on his knees right now and slowly getting up. Now the trainer, St. Joe's has a trainer, of course, and he's coming out on the ice to take a look at Chris Converse.
Now you recognize that by that side pack that he's wearing.
Absolutely.
There, right?
Well, he's got the tape and all those trainer things.
He's got the scissors hanging out of his pocket and everything. So
That's right.
I hope he doesn't use those scissors on those socks, though. Martha would not be happy.
Oh no, I don't imagine. 31 seconds left in the first period. 3-1, St. Joe's leading Massena. The Raiders got on the board first on a goal by Aaron Michaud, and that does look like where he got hit, right between the pad and the bottom.
Yeah, the lower pad and the kneecap there. Again, I think if you ever get one of those, it just kind of sends a sensation all the way through your leg. So I would expect he'd be able to shake that one off.
Getting a good hand from the crowd as he gets up. And the other thing, I don't know if you've noticed this, I'm sure you have, John, a little bit different type of officiating today.
Yeah, these guys are doing a good job. They're in the game. They're active. I think they're a little bit more active yesterday. As we pointed out, the officials yesterday seemed to be comfortable to call the game from a distance, and so whenever there was a stoppage in play, there was some extracurricular activities that weren't necessary.
And apparent from talking to the coaching staff, no communication skills. They didn't, the whole situation. And that's why Converse is back in the game, because they changed it from a game. Here comes St. Joe's breaking in the zone. Nice pass there as Bedard lost his edge but stayed with it. Massena looks to clear the zone and can't. Kept in there nicely. Again, here's an opportunity right in front of the net. The save made, the rebound in front. It's right in the skates, and finally the Raiders move it ahead to center ice, and Foster just tips it out of the zone. Back to the Massena line. Hit the official. They're going to call it offsides anyway. Oh, and a penalty. Holding the stick And the number 17, William Mosler, gets the call, and he just looked at the official. And did I hold his stick? Apparently he did.
That's the second time we've seen that call this weekend. We had a holding of the stick yesterday.
That's with 2 seconds left in the period. So the Raiders are basically almost going to have a full power play to start the second period. Trailing 3-1 here on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Raiders scored first, but 3 straight, and that'll
shots, and I'm not sure I'd give them 16.
No.
But,
well, we'll have to see how we go in the second period. Raiders control the puck, almost coughed it up, but Nick Toth bangs it ahead. That'll be an icing call against Massena.
Yep.
That's the other thing about these officials. They seem to make the icing calls, where yesterday it was inconsistent. You didn't know if you're going to get one or not.
Clearly, they seem to have a better command of the game, at least from the offsides perspective. And that can happen in a game, but you don't see it that often. You know?
Raiders are on the power play here to start the period. Off the faceoff, don't quite clear the zone, dump back in the corner. Toth after it for Massena. Nick with a puck now looking. Raiders send the forwards back, and now it's a head man. And here comes Massena's Aaron Michaud. Michaud down the off wing. He'll dump it in the corner. And it's stopped in behind the net by the goalie. He tries to clear it around the boards. The puck comes to Toth. His shot, goes wide. Looking for a deflection there, I believe. Back on the other side. Back to Toth at the point. He flips to Michaud. He's got room, winds. The shot deflected. Just wide. Good opportunity as the Raiders have set this power play up nicely. Whitcup trying to go back to the point. Raiders do keep it in momentarily, but now it's an opportunity for St. Joe's on the break. Glove saved by Meacham. Oh boy, good opportunity for Christopher Angelo. And that's exactly how a shorthanded goal happened yesterday, John, as the defenseman sprawled to try to keep it in the zone instead of getting back.
One of the problems with that with that umbrella power play is that there's only one guy back. And,
that's right.
If that pass isn't right on the stick, you're in trouble, especially if they're going to try to force you. And it looks like St. Joe's has a very aggressive penalty kill.
6 seconds left in the power play. Raiders with one real good flurry and a good opportunity. And now they break down the ice, but it didn't quite get to where it was supposed to go. It's intercepted, dumped to center ice. We're back to full strength. Whitcup has to wait, and he does. Takes it across. Robbie Whitcup with it. Centering pass in front. Levine. Did he get a shot off? I don't believe he got it through. It hit off a leg, and it's dumped back out to center ice where Jeremy Sidden picks it up. Looks to headman, and it's intercepted back the other way. Here come the Marauders busting across the line. The shot is deflected up in behind the net. Bouncing puck in the corner. Levine after it. He flips it deep. Picked up there by Marzak. Marzak gets tied up by Ramos. Sidden picks up the loose puck for Massena. Starts it ahead. Headman a little bit too far. Good idea. He had Joe breaking, but it went just a little bit too far. Icing.
Yeah, again, the defense is showing a little more patience with the puck, and another second or two probably would have given that pass an opportunity. But again, I'm encouraged by what we're seeing here, at least from the defensive point of view, and really overall the team. The team is playing much better than they did yesterday.
On the Tiffany's Restaurant scoreboard, it's St. Joe's 3, Massena 1. But the Raiders, as we mentioned, are playing much better. Off the face. Puck in the corner. Sidden just pokes it in behind the net. Racing after it there is Colin Lazar. He flips it ahead off the glass and out to center ice. Picked up by the Marauders as they back into their own zone. That's Greco. Off the boards, out to center ice. Back in the zone is Marzak. Marzak makes a good move, but the puck doesn't get through. Lazar picks it up. Headman to the blue line, Job. Job's headman pass is knocked down and is picked up there by Strecker. Strecker just clears it out of the zone. And back comes St. Joe's Mariano. He's checked into the boards. The puck bounces to the Massena line. Levine in there battling for it. Also throwing a check is Lazar. Levine comes away with a puck. Makes a nice move. Across the red line. He'll dump it deep in the zone. Raiders will make a line change. As the Marauders pick it up, they're going to catch Massena on the line change. Into the zone it goes, but offsides as Bagley just couldn't wait. He had to get across that blue line, and the offside call.
They were certainly looking for it. I think it was Bagley made no attempt to go into his defensive end. He saw that we were on a line change, so he hung right around the blue line, and he got the puck.
They're going to move they were going to move it all the way back, but no, they're going to move it just outside the zone. I think they started to call that an intentional offside, and it really wasn't.
Right, no,
so they'll take it just outside the Massena zone.
That was clearly an attempt. Nice shift by Colin Lazar out there. Had a couple of nice checks. It's good to see him step it up a bit.
And again, he used the boards to get the puck out of the zone.
He's very, very patient with the puck, and I think did a heck of a job.
Back the other way comes Massena after a good opportunity. 3-on-2, the Raiders control. Into the zone it goes as Catanzarite has it knocked off his stick. Puck in the corner, there's a battle for it. In there is Eric McDonald, who had the Massena goal yesterday. He throws a check, the puck trickles to the blue line, kept in at the point, dumped into the corner once again. Bouncing puck, that was Tubolino trying to move it to Catanzarite. They battle for it. Now stepping in as well is Tubolino. In the corner, still a battle. It finally comes free to Nick Tubolino. Tubolino looking in front, trying to center it, but it goes off a leg. Catanzarite has to pick it up in the corner. He'll drop it. So Raiders try to do a little cycling. Eric McDonald battles for it, looks to tie it up. Hard check thrown in behind the net by Catanzarite. The puck still free. In there is Schrader, and the puck bouncing around, and they battle for it, and they still haven't blown the whistle, and it squirts free. The puck controlled there by Tubolino, centers it, and it goes right on net. It was an attempted pass. Here's a centering pass again, but this time it's clear to the blue line and out to center ice. Into the zone it goes. The puck gets to Horan as the St. Joe's player just lost it off the end of his stick. Horan circles in behind his own net, looks for the glass, and out to center ice it goes. Again, the Raiders doing a little better job here in the second period, clearing their own end. Now back it goes to Marzak. He'll take it across. Here's Marzak, nice drop pass. The shot, the save, Meacham, and he'll glove it. They do move that puck well,
well,
don't they?
They do, and they caught us on a little bit of a crisscross pattern there, and ended up with an uncontested shot. But again, good play by Kevin Horan. He got the puck in the deep in the zone. He didn't force it up the strong side. He turned back, went off to the weak side, and then saw a little pressure and got it off the glass and get it out. Again, patience is going to help us, and that's what happened on that occasion. I wanted to mention, Jerry, Chris Converse just coming back to the bench here.
That's good news for Massena.
I think he'd been down below here walking it off.
Angelo takes the face-off, off the draw, puck in behind the net. Nick Toth. Toth, nice off the glass, moving it over on the other side. And this time it doesn't get out of the zone quite to the zone, and now it does, as Whitcup takes a whack at it at the blue line. There's a battle for it. Whitcup has his man pretty well tied up, and that man falls down on the puck. That's Angelo. Now they battle back up again. Angelo squirts it free. Nice play. Now a hard check thrown, and the puck bounces in front of the net, and finally Whitcup's up there to move it ahead, trying to poke check it out of the zone. And it bounces in the zone still. Here's an opportunity in front, stopped by Toth. He'll move it ahead. Here comes Massena's Matt Murphy trying to split the D. Here's Murphy, and he's knocked off the puck as he couldn't quite split the D, and Zawawa got back to poke it away, but Whitcup's after it there. Knocked from him, but it comes back to Michaud. Michaud just flips it into the corner. Murphy chasing in after it. We're in the St. Joe zone. Murphy tries the center, goes off a leg. Whitcup after it. Whitcup to Murphy. Murphy trying to get back with it, and he can't quite come up with it. And back out to center ice come the Marauders. Into the Massena zone it goes. In the corner, Toth just throws a check, takes his man out of the play, and Michaud comes back and picks up the puck. I think that's the way it's supposed to be done, isn't it?
Did a nice job occupying the man. The puck was picked up by the forward.
Now in behind is Aaron Leduc. Leduc and Whitcup look to tie it up there. And I'll tell you, they don't blow the whistle too quickly, and sometimes that can be a mistake.
Boy, I tell you, that's a dangerous thing. We've got a nice hockey game going here. It looks like we have some mutual respect on the part of both teams. But you know, when you have those scrums in the corner, things can break out. And
that's right.
I think that for the betterment of the game, and you see it all over the place, not just related to these guys. You got to blow that puck dead. And sometimes they want to keep the game going, and they're talking to the players. Move the puck. Move the puck. I think you're better off blowing it and starting over again.
Off the face-off, controlled by the Marauders, but it's out to center ice off an errant pass. 3-1. Raiders trail here to St. Joseph's on the Tiffany's Restaurant scoreboard. Right back comes Lynch. Lynch takes it in. Oh, made a great move, but Sidden stays with him and pokes it into the corner. After it there is Marzak. He loses it. And it comes free. Trying to clear it was Ryan DeLille. It's stolen. Here's a shot. Meacham says, there's my save. And the puck cleared by Lazor. Lazor to DeLille, poked away from him. Lazor follows, moves it ahead. Again, moving up the board. St. Joe's pinching in, keeping it in. And the puck goes back into the corner. Colin Lazor after it there. He'll flip to Sidden. He'll try the other side, off the glass, and that's how you do it, out to center ice. Now the puck poke check. Oh, the Raiders almost had it 2-on-1. But the Marauders move it back to the Massena line. Lazor after it. Colin picks up the puck in his own end, looks up ice. He'll go D to D to Sidden. Sidden right side. Jeremy looking for the head man. They got a man breaking. That's Ryan DeLille, and will he catch up with a puck? Oh, there's a battle in the corner. Oh, boy, he and the defenseman Greco go after it, and I think Greco won that battle. And back comes St. Joe's, looking to headman. Out to the neutral zone, and right back the other way comes Jaluski. Jaluski, nice drop pass. Here's the shot. It's blocked by the Massena D. Puck along the boards, dumped in the corner. Lazor after it. No, it's going to be Hatch. Hatch tries to center it, goes back in behind. Oh, boy, that was a dangerous play as the puck comes along the boards. Levine. Chris trying to move it ahead. Doesn't quite clear the zone. Levine gets it back again momentarily. It's dumped into the corner by the Marauders. In behind the net. Here's Mariano. Mariano backhand shot just wide. As he backhand pass actually to the slot, and the shot was wide. Back in behind the net it goes again. The Marauders control. That's Mosler. Mosler's shot. In behind, save made, rebound in the corner, goes to the side of the net, and Meacham says, enough of this, and covers up.
Yeah, did a nice job. We got run around down there pretty good, and thankfully Meach had an opportunity. Again, Jerry, you'll notice that they are, the defense for St. Joe's are really shortening up their offensive end. Very, very difficult for us to come out. On the other end, you'll notice that their defense is really trying to turn the corner, and their wingers are going off, and they're taking our defensemen outside.
That's right.
They're taking our defensemen outside the zone, and so they have a lot more room to make the passes. And we're trying to do that. We're trying to have our defensemen carry the puck a little more.
St. Joe's makes a goalie change as Matt Botto comes in. We're halfway through the game, so Matt will come in. Face off in the Massena zone, off the draw, back to the point. Here's the shot in behind, and that missed by not much.
I think that got the pipe.
It might have. In the corner. Puck bounces in front again, goes in behind the net. Somebody broke a stick. Raiders try to control behind. In there is, trying to come up with it is Ramo. And Horan, Ramo does flip it along the boards, but not out of the zone. Pitching in Zawawa. He'll try to dump it in behind. It'll come on the other side. Horan racing after it. He'll not get to it. Marzak does. Horan takes him out of the play momentarily. Marzak back with it, goes back to the point. Here's a drive through traffic. Meacham makes the save. Puck goes in behind the net. They go in behind on the pass to Angelo. Angelo in the corner. He'll drop it as St. Joe's doing some pretty good cycling right now. The puck back in the corner, passing it around. Racing for it there is Marzak. He gets tied up, goes to the side of the net, and Meacham's going to cover it up.
You know, I'll tell you, Jerry, nice defensive coverage there. They had possession of the puck clearly, but we did a very, very nice job. Nick Toth and Kevin Horan and the Ramo line with Matt Job and Chris Levine really showed good patience. They played their position, and that really was as good an exhibition.
Will come out now for Massena. Off the face-off, Whitcup wins the draw to Sidden in the corner. He can't quite get to it, but the check thrown, and it comes around the other side. Raiders looking to move, can't quite clear the zone. That was Murphy, but it comes back in the corner to Aaron Leduc off the glass. Trickling into the St. Joe's zone. They're going to wave the icing off. Didn't even go. Well, I think there's a penalty behind the play for high sticking, and I didn't see it, but it's going to go against the Marauders. Again, that happened behind the play as the puck was going into St. Joe's zone, and Massena's going to get another power play.
We've got Jeremy Sidden rubbing the back of his neck. He's fine. He's all right. He's going to the bench, but looks like he might have taken a smack behind the head.
I think that's going to be Nicholas Lynch picking up the penalty for high stick. At the 7:30 mark, halfway through the hockey game, Raiders go on the power play, trailing 3-1. On the Tiffany's Restaurant scoreboard, but a much better game.
This is a very entertaining game. We're enjoying this a whole lot. I think again we accomplished one of our goals, which I think was to get into the game, and it allowed us to get our legs underneath us.
Off the face-off, Whitcup wins the draw back to the point. The puck goes right across the goal mouth, but the Massena forward Converse was being checked and couldn't get a stick on it. All the way back down in the Massena zone. Meacham, he'll stick it ahead. And the Raiders try to turn it around and go back the other way. Adam Catanzarite to Aaron Michaud. Michaud leaves for Catanzarite. Here comes Adam. He can dangle a little bit. Takes it across, looks to set it up out by the blue line. Drops it back to the point. Control there. Michaud. Toth winds up. His shot through traffic. Goes to Catanzarite. His shot. And the save made, I believe. It may not have gotten through. Bounces to the blue line. Toth keeps it in. Feeds it in front. Here's Whitcup's backhander. Doesn't get through. But he'll pick it up again. Robbie with the puck now. He'll dump it in behind the net. Picked up there on the D and down the ice. That's defenseman TJ Harper. 6:39 left in the period. Now the Raiders move it ahead. Oh, and Meacham sends it all the way down the ice. Icing will be the call. And the Massena forward at the blue line didn't expect it and turned the wrong way.
You know, Matt has really improved his puck handling skills, and I've, talking with a lot of people, they like to see that in a goaltender, and he's done that all weekend long. But in particular on the power play, if the forward, and I'm not sure who it was,
Chris, I believe,
was looking, he would have put a pass right on that guy's stick, and he could have walked in all alone.
Well, Chris Converse didn't expect the pass, turned the other way, and it went by him down the ice. It almost was a shot on net.
Yeah.
But it missed by about a foot. Off the faceoff, Whitcup wins the draw to Toth. Raiders still at 25 seconds of power play. Toth stops behind his own net. He's being forechecked by Mossler. And now it's going to go. No, Toth's going to take it. He drops it off to Aaron Michaud, back to Toth, and the Raiders break it out of there. Here's the headman pass, a little bit too far, and Mossler steals, and he circles, and he's going to just rag it a little bit. But his pass is intercepted there by Catanzari. Dumps it back in the zone. Mossler again, back out to center ice. Catanzari has to wait for his wings to get onside. Drops it back to Toth. Now the penalty as he laughs. Michaud with it. Puck kicked in the zone, cleared right back out again. Here's Catanzari. Picked up and taken away by Schrader. He made a nice move, nice headman pass. Here comes St. Joe's back in the zone. Nice, beautiful drop pass in front. They try to go to the one pass too many, and the puck goes bouncing into the corner, back to the blue line and out to center ice. As trying to keep it in was Strecker, but he just couldn't do it as it was a bouncer. Strecker comes back in his own end. Catanzari bothering him. He'll pass it off on the right side, and it trickles to the blue line, not out of the zone, kept in there by the Raiders. Bouncing puck out by the blue line, finally coming back to pick it up is Lynch, and he'll circle back into the Massena zone. Here he comes, trying to go wide in the corner. Nice pass in front. The shot is blocked. The puck comes to the blue line, not out of the zone. Here's another shot. Meacham makes the save on Schrader's shot. He didn't get much on that one.
No, he didn't. And if he would have looked off to the side, there were two St. Joe's guys standing really unattended over there. We got,
what a break, actually.
Yeah, the position that we're in right now, our bench is the furthest from our defensive end for this second period, and it's difficult to get our defensemen on the ice on a reasonable line change. And Nick Toth got caught out there for a very, very long shift.
3-1, Raiders trail. Face off in the Massena zone. Off the draw. Here comes Massena breaking out. Headman pass on the stick of Tubolino. Here's Tubolino into the corner. Centering pass is knocked down. He gets it right back again in the corner. Centers it again in front. Oh, and he just couldn't put a stick on it as McDonald. Here's a shot. Doesn't get through from the corner. Bounces in behind the net. And into the corner. It bounces right to the side of the net. Racing for it in front. Here's a backhand shot. Oh, big save right there. That shot taken by Nick Tubolino. Didn't get a lot on it, but it was headed for the corner. And the goalie just stretched out the pad, made a great save.
He came today. Again, the large ice surfaces suits his game. He's a beautiful skater, and he's really doing a nice job out there.
Still 3-1 St. Joe's, but a couple of good opportunities here in the last few minutes for Massena to get on the scoreboard again.
Yeah, the power play is sharpening up. We seem to be coming out of the zone with a little bit more knowledge, and it's really showing.
Here come the Marauders, though. And don't get me wrong, they've got a good hockey club. Into the zone it goes, right in front. Meacham makes the save and holds on. And the St. Joe's player, I think that was Lynch, ends up on top of him as he just kind of carried the defenseman right with him, right into the zone, and got the shot off, but Meacham standing tall again today.
Yeah, who was that, Jerry? He's a pretty clever forward there.
That is Lynch, isn't it?
That's Lynch.
It's hard to tell. Like I say, their numbers are hard to read, but it looks like a 16.
Yeah,
Nicholas Lynch.
Nicholas Lynch.
Yeah, you're right, a clever forward.
He's a clever forward, and he looks like he's got pretty good size out there. He came down the left side of the rink. It would be Matt's right side, and he dangled right by the defenseman, went in for a good shot, and his momentum carried him right into him.
Ryan Ramo off the face-off, shot right on, and Meacham will hold on and will do it again with 4:29 left in the second period. And on the Tiffany's Restaurant scoreboard, Massena trailing 3-1. St. Joe's 3, Massena 1.
This club, like the one yesterday, are very aggressive in going to the net to follow their shots. They don't take a shot and peel off. They follow it right directly to the goal.
Off the face-off, Raiders control. Matt Job takes it out of the zone, 2-on-1. Job and Levine. Job's going to take it. He lost it off the end of his skate, feeds to Levine. It bounces in front, and the goaltender, Botto, grabs it with a glove. and Job and Ramo collide as they're both going for the net, and Botto holds on for the faceoff. Matt Job beat the defenseman as he put on a great burst of speed, but then lost the puck off the end of his stick, but followed it and backhanded it across the crease, and Levine tried to get a piece of it, couldn't get his stick on it. It sat there, but finally the goaltender put the glove on top of it.
Yeah, the defenseman played that very, very well, and so did the goaltender. Matt did.
Off the faceoff, Job shot in front. Levine battles for it there. It bounces to Ramo. It's underneath the defenseman, clear to the blue line, kept in Horan. He'll dump it right back into the corner. In behind, it's picked up by Strecker, the defenseman. He'll ride it along the boards to the blue line out to center ice. We got a foot race. Here comes Angelo with it. 2-on-1, his shot, save made by Meacham. Angelo elected to shoot, but he didn't have much angle to shoot at. Puck in the corner. Raiders break it out. Ryan Ramo, nice move. Center ice, headman Levine. Here comes Chris down the left wing side. He winds up, takes the shot high on the goaltender, makes the save. Puck in behind the net. They battle for it there. It's still free. Levine goes for it. He can't come up with it. It's Marzak back checking and out to center ice. No, they didn't clear the zone. Levine keeps it in. Winds up his shot right on. The save made by Botto. Puck in the corner. Levine after it. Great shift for this first line from Massena. Finally, the puck squirts free and back out to center ice. Here come the Marauders into the Massena zone. Back there's Kevin Horan, though, to steal the pass. Horan gets tied up, stays with it, and flips it ahead to Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup on the wing. As they start to move it out, Matt Murphy. Murphy ahead to Whitcup. We got a 2-on-2, but Levine, he needs off. Here's a drop pass. Michaud fakes the shot. He goes in front. Flipped in front, the shot and the save, and it's cleared into the corner. Puck around the boards. Horan pinches in. He'll flip it in behind for Murphy. Murphy, nice pass to Robbie Whitcup. Here's Whitcup trying to center. He'll go back to the point. Nick Toth off the bench keeps it in, and the puck bounces free. Murphy after it in the corner. Poke check by Zawawa. They battle for it. Now Michaud in there sticking for it as well. Back to Toth at the point. His shot is wide. Robbie Whitcup after it in the corner. Here's Whitcup dropping it for Murphy nicely. Here's Murphy. Murphy dropping it for Michaud. Michaud looks up, takes it into the corner, does a little stick handle move, takes it by the defenseman. Here's Michaud baking in front, the shot, the save made again by Botto. Puck cleared off the glass to the blue line, not out of the zone. Raiders keep it in, flip it in behind Murphy. Circles, can't get the shot off, gets it back again, pokes it free into the circle, and finally the Marauders just are going to ice the puck, and down the ice it goes. What a great shift by that Massena line.
You know, I'll tell you again, they forecheck very hard, and Robbie and Aaron and Matt Murphy showing good cycling down low, good possession of the puck, good utilization of the ice. Just did a heck of a job there. Nick Toth did a nice job coming off the bench. Kevin had gone off for a change, and he just jumped on and was able to keep the puck in the zone and get a good shot on goal.
It'll be Converse's line. Good to see him back out there for Massena. Off the draw, Marauders out to center ice. Into the zone it goes. That's Mossler. Mossler, nice drop pass. Here's the shot. Meacham, the rebound, and it's fired wide. Had an open net to shoot at, and the forward fired it wide. Wow. Raiders catch a break. Massena looking to clear, they don't. Kept in by Mariano. He skates in front, he's got a man free. The shot, Meacham makes the save. Puck clear to the blue line. Is it out of the zone? No. Kept in the zone. Finally it comes to Colin Lazor. He'll stop, flip it along the boards, and it's trickled out to center ice. Great job by Foster tying up the man to get it out to center ice. Raiders catch a couple of breaks right there, a couple of good saves by Meacham, and then not a good follow-up by St. Joe's. Puck in the corner, Colin Lazar with it. A minute and a half left in the period. Raiders trail 3-1, but they're in this hockey game. Make no mistake about that. Down the ice it goes. Icing waved off as Strecker gets back and flips it around the boards for Marzak. Pinching in. They got a man, it's Massena though, that's Tubolino circling. I know what you're saying though, John, and we'll pick that up in a moment. As the puck cleared back to the blue line, kept in at the point by Brian Hatch. Nice job. Puck goes in the corner, Foster after it there, and finally it's picked up by the Marauders. They'll move it out. No, they don't move it out center ice as Hatch keeps it in, but now it's dumped to the Massena line. Picked up by Lazor and back out to the neutral zone. Right back across, that's got to be an offsides,
yep.
And they call the offsides.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what I started to say, or you started to point out, and of course our listeners can't see you pointing, but St. Joe's had a hanger right on the blue line.
Well, I think that's a nice coaching move. We have definitely stepped up our forecheck, and one of the ways that you might take some of the pressure off there is to send a guy out of the zone, and that's what they did, and it kept our defense back. But that was a nice coaching adjustment there.
Well, this guy, we'll talk about him in a moment when we have a chance. Pete Snyder He used to coach the midget A team from down here, and they were a good club. Raiders keep the puck in the zone. Michaud, Aaron in the corner, trying to flip it ahead for Nick Tubolino, knocked away from him. Back come the Marauders, 30 seconds left in the period. St. Joe's in the zone. Oh, drop pass, shot, whistles in behind the net. Puck comes to Tubolino. Tubolino, nice headman pass. Michaud. Michaud dangles down, and they want to change, I believe. No, maybe not. He just dumped it into the corner. 19 seconds left. Good hard check thrown. Michaud after it again. Michaud trying to flip it in behind Eric McDonald. McDonald gets tied up. The puck taken away from him. It bounces in the slot. Ryan Ramos' shot is blocked. The rebound. Michaud, a nice save by goaltender Blotto with 3 seconds left. Puck in the corner, 1 second, and the Raiders ran out of time there. But a great finish to the second period. And I'll tell you what, I'm saying that a lot, but it's important when you have a young team like this.
And we're at another time right now, just like the first period. We want to get some time off the clock here and make this into a game.
All right, here we go. Into the zone. Puck knocked away. Bounces in front. Here's the shot and the save made by Meacham. He got caught going the wrong way and somehow came back the right way. I don't know how he did that.
I don't know how he did it. I saw only net there.
Here's Job with it, breaking out of the zone. Matt Job, he's got a man breaking. 2-on-1, goes to Levine. Levine lost it off the end of his skate. Following up, though, is Ryan Ramo. Ramo takes it by the defenseman. Can't get that shot off. Picked up by Levine behind the net. Levine gets just taken out of the play, and the puck clear to the blue line and down the ice. That'll go by everybody. Will it be icing? Yeah, it'll be icing. And the whistle blows. And a good break, a 2-on-1 break for Massena. They just couldn't finish.
Yeah, we're just, I see Matt shaking his head coming off the ice. He's unhappy with that execution. That 2-on-1. I'm not sure if you're never really quite sure if you should shoot or pass. I think that they're playing that very solid. The 2-on-1 was right up the middle of the ice. The defenseman did not have to make any real judgments, and it was a tough 2-on-1 to execute.
Off the faceoff, Raiders win the draw. Horan back to Sidden. Sidden, quick snapshot, goes in behind the net. Rebound, Robbie Whitcup in the net. Whitcup banked it off the defenseman, and it goes in the net. And the Raiders get their second goal of the game. Robbie Whitcup gets the goal for Massena.
Jerry, I'll tell you, when you can put that puck into that scoring area, almost anything can happen, and it happened right there. Robbie, hard-working guy. It's nice to see him get rewarded with these goals, but he said, I'm just going to put this out in front and see what happens, and lo and behold, he banks it right in off, I think it was off the defender. Yep,
off the defenseman, and the Raiders pick up their second goal of the game. And now it's a one-goal hockey game. Here comes St. Joe's, though, in the Massena zone, knocked away by Whitcup. He'll backhand it out to center ice. 3-2 the score. Massena gets an early third-period goal. And that's an important thing for Massena as they dump it back in the St. Joe's zone. Dump back to the Massena line. Here comes St. Joe's. And it's Marza. Oh, made a great move, but a nice sliding check by Sidden breaks it up. Puck in the corner. In behind the net. Controlled by the Marauders, stepping out in front, right across the goal crease. Clipped away, here's a shot, goes wide. Turnaround shot, knocked down. Sidden, he tries to come up with a puck. It bounces in behind, he'll clear it along the boards. Now Michaud just picks it up, looks. Nice play, heads up play by Aaron Michaud. Gonna be an icing, but it gets rid of the pressure as the Marauders were looking to get that 2-goal margin back. But no, Aaron Michaud picks it up and slides it down the ice. Good heads up play.
That was a heads up play. Both of the defensemen got caught making some questionable judgments there, and really that was such a heads-up play by Aaron Michaud. That was almost, I don't know if you can count that scoring a goal, but certainly prevented one. He just got rid of it, and we got a line change.
Raiders trail by 1 now, 3-2. Coming out is Nick Tubolino. Off the face-off, it trickles out into the St. Joe's zone. Racing back, Zawawa. He'll pick it up, overskates it in the zone. Raiders try, they got that hanger out there again, as John points out to me, and it comes out to him at center ice. He'll look to move it into the zone. Nope, knocked away. Now he'll dump it deep in Massena territory. Meacham leaves it in the corner for the Massena defense. Brian Hatch throws a check, coming back to help out for the Raiders. The puck bounces around on the other side. That was Chris Converse, and out to center ice it goes. Picked up again by the Marauder defense. Dumped to an open wing. Raiders, Converse had to turn around and flip it down the ice. Back after it is TJ Harper. Does he clear the zone? He does. Puck dumped to the Massena line. Nick Toth with it. Toth to Hatch. Hatch headman, not quite enough mustard, but coming back for it is Catanzarite. He'll backhand it right on the goalie, and a save made. Now Massena makes a line change, and coming up with it is Mossler. He'll take it across. He'll drop it back to the blue line. Nobody there. Raiders break back the other way, and Ryan Ramo can't quite catch up with a headman pass, and it's picked up there by the Marauder defense. They'll start it out. Long headman pass. Goes to the Massena line. Puck knocked away. Here's Job with it. Poke check from him. Now Levine throws the check. The loose puck picked up by the Raiders. Kevin Horan, he'll dump it deep. Back after it there for the Marauders is Greco. He rips it around the boards to the blue line. It bounces around in the corner. Kept in by Job momentarily. Now it's out to center ice. And back come the Marauders. 3-on-2. Job trying to get back. Ties up his man. Here's a shot save made Meacham. Puck in the corner. 3-2 our score. Marauders lead by 1, but the Raiders have the puck. Levine trying to clear the zone. Bounces to Horan. He just banks it off the boards out to center ice where it's picked up by Schrader. Schrader will come and shoot from center ice. Meacham makes the save. And he's going to, well, no, he's going to hold on for the faceoff as the forechecker coming in was Jeff Bagley.
Yeah, he wanted to change there, and he was looking for an excuse to hold on to it. Jerry, I know it's going to be hard for our listeners at home to understand this, but really, St. Joe's is adjusted. They're not wanting to play this game in their defensive end, and they've got a hanger out here. Our defensemen cannot get up on that line. They've just made the ice much, much bigger for them to pass.
See, they have confidence in the four guys, in the zone. They feel that they can handle Massena, and as a result, that's why they're doing this. Now there's a man side of that. They got a man right in front, knocked down. And I don't think it even got through to Meacham. Hatch with it. Hatch flips it in behind to Toth. Good play. Toth looks up ice. He'll skate it. He'll move it ahead out to center ice. Headman pass intercepted. Just trickles into the neutral zone. Whitcup after it. Gets a piece of it. Now it bounces free. Into the Massena zone. Hatch steals it. His backhand pass knocked down. It's dumped right back in the Massena zone. 3-2. Raiders trail by a singleton. Here's Hatch in the corner. He battles for it. Manages to get it free to Whitcup. Whitcup trying to move it along the boards to Murphy. It squirts free in front. Here's the shot right across the goal mouth. Meacham had it covered, no problem. Back to the point. Knocked down. Here comes Toth. He can dangle. Nick Toth with it down the right side. Takes it by 1. Oh, great move by Toth. His shot just wide. And the puck around the boards. Murphy trying to come up with it at the blue line. Bounces out to center ice. Sitting right there to dump it back in the zone. Raiders with a delay offside as Toth was still in the zone. Here comes St. Joe's. They got a man at the blue line, but it's knocked away. Back the other way comes Massena across the blue line. Here's an opportunity for Catanzari, knocked away, and back out to the neutral zone. Center ice in the Massena zone, not quite. Offside's the call. And the Raiders have a little bit of fire in them again. 10:15 left in the third period. St. Joe's leads Massena on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard 3-2.
Nick Toth took that puck coast to coast. Again, we talk about that defense taking some charge and getting up the ice. Nick had a lot of ice in front of him, made a great move on their defender and got a good shot away.
Off the faceoff. Puck controlled Horan with a problem, but he manages to tie up his man. The puck bounces in front. They got a man in front. Meacham holds on before it can get through to him. That was William Mossler, who is a big customer, and he was standing in the slot area, but Meacham didn't let the puck get to him. He covered it before it got there.
They had good pressure off the face-off. Kevin had a chance to handle the puck, and when he looked up, the guy was right on top of him. We got to be making sure that we take our men on the face-off, give the defense as much time as possible to do something positive with it.
10:14 left in the third period. Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard says 3-2 St. Joe's. The Raiders have gotten an early goal here in the third period, and Robbie Whitcup gets the goal. I don't know if there was an assist or not, but that gets Massena right back in this hockey game. Off the faceoff, Ryan Ramo with it. Poke checks it out to center ice. Picked up there by the Marauder defense. They flip it to the Massena line. Into the zone it goes. Horan throws a check, comes up with a puck. Now the bottom, it gets free. Here's the shot knocked down. Ryan Ramo back checking. Puck right across the goal mouth, but the Raiders break out. Kevin Horan. Horan lost it off the end of his stick. Angelo picks up the loose puck, drops it back to his defense. Right back the other way. St. Joe's, they dump it in behind the net. Meacham trying to stop it. Couldn't. Now the puck in front, but it's cleared by Ramo. And another good back checking job by Ramo to the blue line. Knocked down by Whitcup, or no, excuse me, that's not Whitcup. That was 19, Kevin Horan, not 9. And the puck goes into the zone of St. Joe's. They'll just backhand it into the Massena zone. I'll tell you what, on this ice surface, you got to go a long way to chase that puck down sometimes. There's Todd, headman to Job. Job takes it across. He's all by himself and tries to whack the shot through, gets it back again. Here's Job with it right in front of that. Shot, save, rebound, they battle for it there. Whitcup can't get a stick on it, and back the other way. Good opportunity out to center ice. Bouncing puck to the St. Joe's blue line. Whitcup again. Here comes Robbie across the blue line. 1-on-3, gets by one. Here's Whitcup's shot right on, the save made. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Robbie has had a terrific weekend, and that was just an illustration of how he's played. He went through about 3 checks there, and the guys couldn't knock him off his skate. Somehow made it by that defender and got a shot on goal.
Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you.
Just good old straight hard work.
Face-off inside St. Joe's territory. Whitcup to take the draw. Wins the face-off. It trickles through, but nobody can put a stick on it. And here come the Marauders back the other way. They'll dump it into the Massena zone, off a stick, in behind the net. Toth after it. Toth trying to throw a check, can't come up with it, but the back checking forward, Whitcup does, he gets knocked down. Bouncing puck right across the goal mouth. Will bounce free to Andrew Foster. Foster can't clear the zone. It bounces in front, it'll trickle right on Meacham. He's going to cover it up. No, he's going to leave it for Aaron Michaud. Michaud skates out of the corner. Flips it ahead to Whitcup. Back to Michaud. Michaud will drop to Toth. Toth has got the man. Here comes Foster across the blue line trying to slide it free. It comes to Whitcup and he can't quite come up with it. Dumped back down the ice. That'll be icing against... No, they wave it off. Okay. As St. Joe's will make a line change. Back to pick it up. Here comes Brian Hatch. He's got a man breaking and threw it away. The trickling puck goes into the corner and Meacham will have... or Michaud rather. To Hatch. Hatch will flip it on the other side to Andrew Foster. Foster starts out, looks up. He's on the stick of Whitcup. Whitcup trying to go to Michaud, and he sprawls and tries to keep it free. It comes back to the Massena line. Nick Toth is right there, though, to pick it up. Here's Toth looking, flips it ahead, trying to get it to Converse, who was coming off the bench. Now the puck dumped back in the Massena zone, and Jeremy Sidden picks it up. 3-2, Raiders trail by a singleton. We're in the third period. Bouncing puck out to the neutral zone. They try to get it to a breaking Catanzarite, but it's dumped back in the zone. Back comes Sidden again. Jeremy with the puck. Looks along the boards. Dump back in behind the net. The Marauders, Sidden back checking, ties up. The puck bounces free in the corner. It'll go around on the other side, and Converse will come up with it. Here's Chris Converse looking up ice, throws it away in front. Here's a chance and a big save by Meacham. Oh boy, that was a great save on Mosler as Converse trying to throw it up the ice, threw it right to Mosler. Yep. He went in all by himself and Meacham robbed him.
You know, he didn't miss it by much. He saw Tubolino breaking up the ice and Mosler, I guess it was, just stepped in and intercepted that pass.
Face-off will come inside the Massena zone. I think that's 7:10 left on the clock. 3-2 Raiders trail by a singleton. And I'll tell you what, they're looking for that equalizer, and Robbie Whitcup almost had it.
That was a beautiful save by Matt Meacham.
Yes, it was. Keeps him in the game, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Marzek takes the draw, wins the draw. Back to the point. The shot goes off about 3 sticks, kept in. Now it's bouncing around. Raiders try to break out of the zone. Catanzarite has to come back. He'll flip it ahead, and it bounces free. Checks being thrown. I think we're going to have a penalty on Massena. And the puck bounces in front of the net. Shot save, and Meacham covers it up. If I'm not mistaken, this will be Massena's first penalty of the game.
Certainly looks like it, and it was a tough one.
Roughing or boarding?
Yeah, it'll be at least that. I'm not sure if he had a hit from behind or what.
6:49 left. Boarding is the call.
Got a boarding call.
And it's going to go on Converse. And Converse will go to the box, and that'll give St. Joe's a power play. We have not seen their power play yet today. That's, I believe, is Massena's first penalty.
Yeah, it's been an entirely different game, even to include from the penalty point of view. We seem to be in a little bit more control of our emotions today. You know, you got yourself almost 7 minutes go in the game here in a 1-goal game. We're going to have to, this could be, how many turning points can there be? But this is certainly one of them right here.
Now, assistant captain Nick Toth is talking, and I think they gave him a major.
Yeah, that was a pretty violent hit there, and I'm not sure to what degree.
Yeah, I do believe that will be a major penalty. And is that a game misconduct? We'll see. But, 4-minute major, which means this will be served in its entirety, no matter how many goals they score on the power play. So a 4-minute major penalty for boarding, and that the St. Joe's player is still down on the ice. And did you see the hit? I did not see it.
Yeah, I saw it. I think I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that it would be at least a boarding call. I thought that it could have been a hit from behind. He had momentum going into the check. It's not like he was skating all the way across the ice with intent to injure here, but clearly it was a good solid check, and he was quite a ways from the boards. I'm talking about the St. Joe's player, and the momentum carried them both into the board, so it was at least a boarding call.
And the player, St. Joe's player, fortunately, is getting up, and he'll be okay, I think.
Yeah, he looks like he's okay. He's a little woozy there. Well, we've got a 4-minute penalty to kill off here with about 7 minutes to go in the game. 6:49, is it, Jerry?
6:49 remaining on the scoreboard. The Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard is 3-2 St. Joe's. So now the Raiders are going to have to dig deep here to kill off this penalty and stay in this game.
Hey, it's all about it's opportunities to learn, and these are one of these circumstances that hopefully we can gain experience from. But again, not to get too flustered, to try to play the system that they're working on and they're learning, to have good discipline, all of the things that they want to try to work on. If St. Joe's scores, then they've got a man advantage, and they're really supposed to, aren't they? But really, this will be a nice opportunity for us to work on our game.
Okay, it's going to be, let's see here, taking the face-off, Nicholas Lynch to take the draw against Matt Jobe. Raiders with 4 minutes to penalty kill here. And again, being a major penalty, the penalty time will be served in its entirety. Around the horn they go. Lynch feeding it in behind. Raiders trying to do that box. Bounces free in front, in behind, and they try to slide it in front. Back to the point. Moving it around the horn. Here's a shot knocked down in front. Backhander save made. Meacham, and he'll hold on for the face-off. And that puck bounced all around the net, but did not go in, but it came very close. And we are going to move the face-off outside the zone. Okay, I don't know why. I thought Meacham had the puck, but apparently it was under a St. Joe's player.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Or a man in the crease.
It's the only thing I can think of. Maybe it was in the crease. I thought Matt had the puck.
Well, it doesn't matter. They move it outside, and that's a break for the Raiders.
It sure is.
Still 3-2 on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard for St. Joseph's. The Raiders coming into this period were trailing 3-1 and got a goal by Robbie Whitcup. Now Ryan Ramo out to take the face-off.
We look to be in a good conservative box here. They show that they're going to want to pinch their defenseman.
There's Angelo right across the goal mouth, and Meacham makes the save and holds on for the face-off. And he had the puck tied up in behind, and the St. Joe's forward came in and poked at him, but that's his job because the whistle had not gone.
Yeah, and I'd like a little bit of better position out there for those referees. That's really the second time that he's had the puck frozen, and a good couple of seconds went off before they blew the whistle.
Off the face-off, back to the point it goes. Zawawa's shot goes off a leg, side of the net, back into the circle, out toward the blue line. Zawawa again poked away. Whitcup comes up with it momentarily, has it knocked away. Back to the other point. Here's a shot, goes off a leg in the corner. Jeremy Sidden after it there. He gets tied up. The puck bounces free. Sidden looking to tie up his man. It squirts away. They got a man in front, but it's knocked away by Toth. Back toward the blue line. Still a power play. Still 3 minutes of power play. So the Raiders have killed off 1 minute. They move it D to D at the point. They got a man in the slot. Now into the circle, right side of the net. Moving it around. Massena in that box. Ramo out there, Sidden out there, Toth out there, Whitcup out there. They move it in front. Here's a shot in behind. Man in the crease again. They'll move the face-off outside of the zone.
Again, they're going to pinch that defenseman right down the middle of the slot and look for that opportunity. Massena doing a fine job in the box. Good discipline there. They look to be running the overload, Jerry. They're running the overload from either side. They'll set it up. They'll take whatever we give them, and look. There was a pass that came across the slot area, but again, all this ice, they're gonna move that puck around.
Off the face-off, puck in the neutral zone. Now they take it in the zone. Strecker with it, takes it deep, in behind the net. He circles around. Here's Strecker, stays with it, dumps it now to a forward, gets it right back again. Slides out to the circle, goes in behind the net. They pass it around the horn. Sidden gets a piece of it, pokes it into the corner. Picked up by the Marauders again. They'll go back to the point. Here's the drive from the point. Meacham makes the save. The rebound. They score. And that's going to be William Mosler getting the goal on the rebound after Matt Meacham made a great save.
Yeah, they occupied one of our defensemen. It appeared that both of our defensemen got tied up with one guy there, and they got caught in a shift.
And of course, being a major penalty, Massena does not get the man back, so they've still got 2:14 to kill. 4-2 the score now for St. Joe's. A power play goal to give them their 2-goal margin again.
And again, we didn't touch the puck too awful much on that kill. They kept it outside and utilized the ice to keep possession until they got a goal scoring opportunity.
Off the face-off, puck in the corner, behind the St. Joe's net. Shaw doing some good forechecking there. Marauders look to move it out of the zone, but Job is going to whack it right back into the corner. Puck bouncing in behind. Poke checked away by Shaw again. Aaron's had a great game here today.
He's played very, very strong. Best game of the season so far.
Off the draw, the puck knocked down by the Massena defenseman off his stick. Here's a shot by Mosler. Meacham makes the save and holds on for the faceoff. 1:46 remaining, and I don't know, Meacham, did he take a stick on the way by? That'd be my guess.
Yeah, looks like that forward gave him a little extra tug there when he went by. Because Kevin went over and asked him how his day was going, and that was Mosler there. They gave him a little bit of a shot, might have caught him in the midsection.
And he was going right by, and now the trainer comes back out, and this is not a good sign for Massena, although Matt is up on his knees. So I think he's going to be okay. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Yeah, there he goes, getting up. But still, you hate to see that. Little bit of that extra shot on the way by. Probably, I'm not sure where they got him, but there's no call on the play. 4-2, Marauders lead by 2 on a power play goal here. 1:46 left in that major penalty to Converse for boarding, and that means that the faceoff will be inside Massena territory. This is the first power play we've seen for St. Joe's, and they have scored one on it. They're good. They've got a good power play, no doubt about that.
It's a lot of fun, and to see a skillful team use the ice surface and move it around, good solid passes on the tape. You see some good movement. When you get in a conservative box here and you pack it all in, there's a lot of ice around
oh boy, they can move it around, for a long time. Back to the blue line and out to center ice. A little bit of a forecheck by Robbie Whitcup caused that mistake, and the Marauders have to regroup, but they do quickly, and they're right back in the zone with a minute and a half left in the major penalty. Puck in the corner, back to the blue line. They move it around the horn to the 45 right side, right back to the point again. Back to the 45. Very patient, these guys. Now they move it around behind the net. Looking to circle it in front, but it's knocked away. And the Raiders move it out to center ice. Here comes Kevin Horan. Horan, nice. Oh, a little bit too hard on the pass. Offsides on Massena as Ryan Ramo goes after it. Horan broke out of the zone and tried to pass it over to Ramo, but got a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, he was being bothered all the way up the ice. You got to think in every circumstance here about trying to get a goal. They're not out here just to keep this game close. They're out here to try to score a goal.
Oh,
I think you probably think in another circumstance, if we had a goal lead, he would have just dumped it in and bailed away. But I think you're trying to make a pass that can get you a goal scoring.
Oh, certainly. And it was a 2-on-1 basically. Had he completed the pass, so. We're down a minute left in the power play advantage. 4-2 now on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard for St. Joe's. Here's Aaron Michaud. He'll just dump it down the ice. In the corner it goes, stopped by the goaltender Botto. He'll leave it for his defenseman Job in there. He and the goaltender collide, and there's going to be a face-off in the the St. Joe's zone, as that was just an inadvertent collision, and there couldn't be a penalty on that. No, there's not going to be.
I don't know.
Well.
Doesn't look like it.
No, because it was just one of those situations where he was going by to go after the puck, and the goalie came out to go try to play it, and they ran into each other.
Got a little nervous there when the referee seemed to be escorting him out of the zone.
But no.
But nobody took exception to it.
The defenseman didn't come over and give him a shot. They know it was totally an inadvertent. Michaud takes the face-off, flips it in behind the net, trying to chase it down. We're down to 40 seconds left in the man advantage. 3:29 left in the third period. Raiders control the puck again, dump it to center ice. Whitcup dumping it back to Hatch. Hatch trying to feed it ahead, but it's knocked away. Back in the zone. Here's a shot. Meacham makes the save. Puck dumped to the blue line, kept in at the point. They battle for it there, and it's gloved by Michaud down the ice. Great, another heads-up play by Aaron Michaud.
Strong gain today. I thought that was offsides initially, and they didn't make the call for us.
And here's another one that could have been an offsides. Puck in the corner. In behind the net, controlled by Angelo. Has it poke checked away around the boards. 4 seconds left in the man advantage. Puck in the corner. In behind the net. Bounces in front, intercepted. Raiders get a man back out to center ice. Here they come. Whitcup gets upended, trying to go to Levine. Robbie's been out there a long time. We're down to 2:39. Raiders trail by 2, but they did kill off most of the rest of that penalty. Back in the zone, offsides. And we're down to 2:32 left in the third period. St. Joe's leads Massena 4-2.
Well, I think we're going to, I would look for Matt to get out of that net here pretty quick. You might as well lose by 3 as lose by 2.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, with so much ice out there, I would think that as soon as they can get this puck in, he could come off the ice almost any time.
Face-off, Job will take it just outside the Massena zone on the offside. 4-2, Marauders lead by 2 here with just 2.5 to go in the third period. At the blue line, into the zone it comes. Here's an opportunity in front, and they score a goal. That'll make it 5-2. And Massena gave up the blue line in a 2-on-1.
Yeah, and he just kind of poked it by Nick Toth there and walked in on a 2-on-1, and really Matt didn't have any chance at it. Whoever it was executed very well, laid it on his stick right across, and couldn't get the stick on it.
Let's see here. I'm not sure who got that goal. My guess it would be Glowinski. Angelo involved in it. I think it was Angelo and Glowinski with a 2-man pass, but that'll make it 5-2, and now we probably won't see the goalie pulled.
Not now, I don't think.
Face off to Bellino out there. But here's an opportunity where we got to keep the puck out of the net. Here's Angelo again. Dumps it in behind. Meacham will clear it around the boards. Along the boards it goes. After it is Eric McDonald. Coming back is Colin Lazor to pick it up. He'll flip it on the other side for Andrew Foster. Foster goes back to Lazor. Good job. Lazor takes it behind the net. Gets tied up. Has a stick held. Can't quite come up with it. It bounces in front. Here's an opportunity cleared into the corner by the Raiders and picked up there by McDonald. Eric breaks out of the zone. He gets tied up. That's going to be a holding call. Yep. Hooking, they're going to call it hooking, could be holding, whatever. It's a penalty as McDonald was held. And the Raiders will have a power play for a minute and a half. Who knows?
You know, I'll tell you, this is another opportunity. It's a power play. It's a chance to work against another team. It's a chance to really get some confidence and to leave Buffalo feeling pretty good about ourselves. This has been a fine hockey game, fine effort. They've got a couple of goals here late, but, let's see what happens on this power play.
5-2 the score in favor of St. Joe's on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Looks like we have Adam Catanzari, Robbie, Matt Job,
Kevin Horan,
and Aaron Michaud out there.
So 4 forwards and a defenseman as the puck dumped down the ice by St. Joe's. And again, Bagley will be that forechecker, and they do an aggressive penalty kill, trying to put on the pressure on Horan. Horan circles behind the net. Finally looks for his wing, moves it ahead. Out to center ice, back in the zone again. Horan will pick it up and drop it. Here's Michaud. Oh, he is knocked down. Oh, boy. He just took his skates right out from under him. But the Raiders come back, no call, and here comes Whitcup with it. Whitcup flips it ahead to Job, takes it across. Here's Job going by the defenseman. Matt Job in the corner, centering pass in front. It comes free. Here's the drive, and the save made, or the stick. I think it deflected off a stick in front as the shot taken by Adam Catanzari, and it goes up over the mesh.
He got that up in the air. I see Robbie kind of pointing to him to keep it down a little bit. He's got a strong shot. Adam's a good young forward out there, getting some quality time here on the power play.
Face-off will move outside the zone, apparently deflected by a Massena stick off the ice. Off the draw, controlled by Horan. He'll go on the other side. It's dumped by Michaud in the corner. And that is the third goaltender, by the way, Heasley. I don't know when he came in, but he's been in there for a little while, I think. Now the puck in the corner. Whitcup with it. Whitcup circles, looking. He takes it back to the point. Michaud will go to Kevin Horan. Horan over on the through Catanzari, back to Horan. His shot deflected, just wide. I'm not sure what it deflected off, but the Raiders control. Here's a shot in behind with 40 seconds left. Puck in the corner, Michaud after it. Michaud tying it up. Job in there battling for it as well, but a good job by Mossler as he flips it in the corner. Now another battle between Job and Greco. And the puck squirts free, picked up by Whitcup, circling in front, the shot, Catanzari, Michaud shot, score, Job! And the Raiders get their third goal, make it 5-3 with 22 seconds left. And I'm not sure if the power play had elapsed or not, or it had just elapsed. And the Raiders make it 5-3. Job will get the goal, but a lot of hard work by Robbie Whitcup on that one.
Yep, and again, they had some good puck movement out there. I thought that, they gained possession, they moved it around, looked for a shot from the point, had a shot, there was coverage in front. The puck squirts off to the corner, there's a scrum, we end up with possession of the puck. I mean, all of those kinds of things are good positive things that you see on a power play.
Off the face-off, puck dumped deep in St. Joe's territory, down to 17 and counting. So this one's going to be a win. Well, the puck knocked free in front. It's going to be a win for St. Joe's, but you give the Raiders credit. Into the zone it goes. Here are St. Joe's. The shot, Meacham makes the save. Puck in the corner behind the net. Picked up by Angelo. He overskates with 2 seconds left. That's going to take care of the hockey game right there. But not a win for Massena, but maybe could we call this a moral victory?